Number 36, which of the following values of delta H for a process in the table is or are less than 0, aka exothermic process? They're very nice to tell us that, right? But y'all should all know that if delta H is positive, it's endothermic. If it's negative, it's exothermic. So let's look at the table once again. So here we go. Let's kind of mark it one at a time. Potassium solid turning into potassium gas. Well, we're going from solid to gas, right? So that's sublimation process. Well, that's like a harder way to put it. Well, solid is when everybody's kind of like tightly attracted to each other, and gas is when they're all kind of, set free. So you are basically overcoming the intermolecular forces among all those potassium atoms. And when you are overcoming intermolecular forces, aka in an easier way to say, well, when you are separating all those atoms, well, that's going to take the energy to do so, right? Like it's going to take energy on your end to separate all these guys. So that's actually endo, that's positive, not negative. So this thing is out. Next, gas turning into, well, gas, but this time we actually have the ground state potassium, and we're actually exciting it by ionizing it, aka removing an electron. When you are trying to take away an electron from this guy, well, that's going to take energy on your part to do it. What is this called? That's called the ionization energy. Long story short, that's a positive energy, so that's out too. Now, chlorine gas we have, and we separate it into chlorine separately, like separate chlorine gases like this. And once again, you are separating. In this case, we're not actually separating because that's like overcoming the intermolecular forces. We're actually breaking off the covalent bond in between the two chlorines. And once again, anything breaking in the world of chemistry is endothermic process. So that's also positive. That's why that's out. Now this one, that's actually chlorine picking up an electron to become chlorine ion. What do we call that? Electron affinity. And when something picks up an electron, that's technically a formation because it forms an ion. So that's a formation of an ion process, and that's a formation unlike breaking. So breaking is endo, so formation better be exo. So this guy is cool. We keep the Y. And then here we go. We have the potassium ion, chlorine ion forming potassium chloride. Once again, forming, right? These two ions come together to form this new compound, potassium chloride. And whenever you form something, that's an exothermic process. So this guy is also cool. Z, we count it. So it's only the bottom two reactions, aka the delta H values of the Y and Z, that should be negative, aka that should be our answer choice B, Y and Z only.